familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So as you guys can see from the title, today we're gonna do palette bingo. I'm actually gonna do it with the new Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette. This palette is new. I got this last week, I believe, and I posted about it. By now, you should have seen already swatches on my reels, on my Instagram. If you have not, I will obviously insert swatches of this palette in my video that we're currently watching. So here is what the palette looks like, you guys. If you know or own any Give Me Glow Cosmetics palettes, it is no different. It is completely the same formula. If you love the formula, you're gonna love this one. That's why I didn't want to do a full review, like a sit down review kind of this palette, because I already know the formula. I already familiar. As soon as I swatched it, played around with it, I'm like, yep, it is exactly the same. This is pigmented. What you see is what you get. And I love the fact that you're getting pairs. So you're getting a duo set in here. So you're getting the duos of the purple, blue, peachy, pink, green, and yellow. So if you have no clue what to do with this palette, you have your matte and your corresponding shimmer to go along with it, and you can do a monochromatic look, or you're gonna do what I'm doing. I'm gonna jump around and do a palette bingo. I figured that was the most fun way to showcase this palette. Like I said, I didn't want to do an actual review on it. So if you're interested to see this palette bingo, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash project pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with this palette bingo. So real quick before we pick the shadows, you're getting 12 shadows in here. You are getting a shimmer and matte corresponding of it. Yep, you're getting 35 grams of product in here. These are the large eyeshadow pan, so it is a rather large palette. I will also show clips, I'll insert them, of me comparing this palette with the Menagerie Pastel Pup, so you guys can see if you really need this one as far as the mattes go, as well as the Clarity Cosmetics So Mesmerizing palette. Now, I haven't done anything with that palette because I have been waiting for my replacement palette. I was promised from the actual owner herself that she was gonna send me a replacement palette completely. I've spoken to her on the side. I'm still waiting to get that palette in order for me to do the video I promised you guys to do about my experience with that brand and how it's turned out so far. So I'm hoping I get it this month. If I don't get it by this month, you'll hear about my whole entire experience with the current palette that I have. Right now, I can't lift it up next to it because I had to repress all the shimmers in there, and I'm afraid that I didn't do so well, because I can tell you right now, the formula of that one is nothing compared to this one. Absolutely, totally different. So you'll see it in the close-ups because I will insert all that for you guys overhead so you guys can really see that instead of me holding them up on here. So now that we have gotten all that out of the way, I'll talk to you guys more about this palette as I'm doing my eyeballs. In the meantime, let's pick out the shadows that we are going to be using. We have 12. 5 we're gonna choose. So every single time I do this, every single time, number 9. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Ooh, it's the green one. So you guys know I go across. So 4, 8, 9, which is this one called Too High for This. You guys know that I also love Give Me Glow's names of their palettes or their singles. It's really, really cute. So here's the first one. Let's see the next one, which is 10. Oh, Magic Mint, which is the one right next to its corresponding matte. I'm trying not to dig into these shadows because they're so pigmented. These are pressed pigments, so they actually stain your fingers, which the Clarity one does not. That's another difference. Just telling you guys. Just gonna do it this way. 8. I'm like, what in the world? I'm only staying in this vicinity. So here's 8, which is this pink one right here called Daydream. It is like a baby pink. Oh, this is cute together though. 4th shadow is 8 again. Really, 12, which is the last one, which is yellow. It's so fluffy. Oh, my kids love that movie. It's so fluffy. The unicorn, that's the matte yellow. Is the unicorn yellow? Now I gotta think about it. So we have this one, and then the last shade that we are pulling in is 11, which is the corresponding yellow. Okay, rise and shine, which looks like the sun. Okay, so we have both of the greens, both the yellows, and one pink. 2 mattes. Okay. So we're just going to play with this. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you guys can actually see the look that we're going to be messing around with today. All right, so let's start out with It's So Fluffy, which is this one right over here, and it's the yellow one. Of course, I forgot my close-up mirror, so I'm just going to use the mirror that's in here. As you guys know, this does come with a mirror. If that is something that you like to use. You guys, these are very, very pigmented, so you have to be careful. A little bit goes a long way. I'm going to put this in the inner corner right here. So I'm going to talk to you guys about this palette real quick. This palette is $54 if you are not aware. It's really quick shipping. As you guys know, I did the last video I did about this brand. I spoke about my customer service with them, and I told you guys I wasn't going to cancel them, so obviously here I am with this new palette. But I got to tell you, her shipping time and the way that she wraps her stuff now, she has definitely heard the complaints that she has and the concerns that she has heard from not just me, but there's been plenty of us that have, you know, raised the concerns. And I knew I'd get comments here like, oh, well, you're calling out the brand. You're, you know, you're just being mean about it. If we don't voice our concerns, how can a brand become better or service us better if they don't know something's wrong? So it actually worked out. I'm very happy. She reached out to me. She saw that I got this specific palette. She DM'd me saying she's glad that it came and didn't come broken. I mean, everything about it so far so good. And as you guys know, this is only the first one that I've ordered since then, so I'll continue if I see another palette that I enjoy. I really do love her formula, so I just love, like, I love her color stories, I love her formula, so I'm gonna continue to support them, and I will always be honest with you guys if something goes wrong. You guys know that I'm just not here trying to fluff everything. Nope. So far so good. I'm very happy with this. I can't complain. Now the other one that we have is the Mint Magic, which is this one. I'm gonna blow this out on the outer V and in. I don't know how that's gonna be because white base, these are very white based, so I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful because some of these I won't be able to use very soon because I'm just gonna get too tan for these. But we're gonna use this as much as I possibly can until I get a tan, because even now I'm a little bit darker than I was about a month ago. So I'm just gonna pack these on. These do have powder kick up, but not as bad. I'm surprised. These mattes are not as powdery as other palettes that she does have, which I personally do not mind. I prepped myself for that, but yeah. Really, really good. I do love the fact that she didn't just come out with a pastel palette. She gave you the corresponding shimmer with the mattes, which helps tremendously, because I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, totally different looks out of this palette, monochromatic. But some of these are fun, like the lavender shade looks so much fun. And look, you see me blending these. I'm packing these on and then I'm blending it out, and it's not blending away. That's what I love about her formula. They don't blend away. These are pressed pigments, so I always say do not use a tacky base with these because it'll stick. If you do have a tacky base, set it with your setting powder, set it with a cream shadow, let it set, then go in with your shadows. You don't really need to blend too much with these. Like, look, I'm not blending that much. You guys are clearly seeing what I'm doing. So it's just, I love her formula. I really, really do. It's really, really good. It's worth it for me. So there are the 2 mattes, you guys. So now we only have the 3 shimmers left. So what I think I'm gonna do, hopefully I won't screw this up like I did the last palette bingo. I'm gonna start out with the yellow to go with the yellow, then the pink in this. You know what? I'm gonna do the pink at the bottom. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do the corresponding yellow here, the corresponding green out here, and then the pink at the bottom. That's what I think I will do. See, everything just happens. This is so much fun. I am so excited. I remember a while back telling you guys I really wanted more pastels, and here we are. So I'm just gonna I can grab this with my finger, but I want this to be a little bit more precise, so I'm just grabbing a flat shader brush with the yellow and then putting it here. Because I did put yellow there, it's a little bit more forgiving and I don't need to be so particular with it, but I'm gonna bring it in just like I did the yellow. And you're getting so much product in here, guys. It's gonna last forever. It's gonna last forever. Honestly, this is what I was expecting from Clarity Cosmetics as far as the color story. It's totally different in its different way. I'm not bashing the palette, but it's in a totally different way. So I know some may think that they're similar, but they really aren't. They stand alone on their own because this one has a different way of doing things. So now I'm gonna go in with the green, the mint green, which is called Too High for this. I'm gonna put it out here. If I go in with my finger, this will be very, very pigmented. So I'm trying to keep it more subtle. And you guys can see I'm not really having any fallout. I am, for the mattes, I was shaking it off, but I think this is out of stock, but she is getting more, and this is a permanent palette. So if this is something that interests you or you want to gift it to someone, it will be around. So you can do that. So pretty. I'm loving it. I did see a little bit of fallout here. I saw it coming down. But so far, so good, you guys. I am happy. I like it a lot. Now for the lower lash line. For the lower lash line, let's go with the pink, which is Daydream. You guys know that one right there. I'm just gonna put it on a pencil. This might not be a good idea because it might fluff away, but I'm just gonna, instead of going like this, I'm like, you know, stamping it on here so then I don't get a lot of fallout. See how like white base shadow, so I'm gonna have to top this with the green because I can already see it like making me look a little bit odd because it is white based. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with Mint Magic, which is that matte color right here, and just kind of like mesh it together. So that way I don't look so weird. So weird. And then what else? The other thing I want to do is go back to that pink, put it in the inner corner. So there's my look. I know I look a little bit odd. I told you guys that I can't really get away with pastels too much these days, but I'm gonna show you guys a way that I do it so then that way it doesn't look so bad. So I'm just gonna go do my lashes, mascara, all that 9 yards, and then I'm gonna come back and wrap it up for you guys so that you guys can see it and I'll explain everything to you guys. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the comparisons. I'm pretty sure I inserted the clips where I'm comparing this one to the So Mesmerizing palette as well as Pastel Pup with swatches so you guys can see both of them. As you guys can see, now when I compared all three of the palettes, I feel like there is a person for each palette. If you only want matte and you don't want any shimmer shadows really in your pastels, then go for the Pastel Pup. If you like a color story that gives you 6 different options, you're getting your matte with its shimmer shade, I would go with this one, the Give Me Glow Cosmetics, where you can make some match them just like I did. And if you personally like more of a metal, like a glittery, kind of not, I don't want to say flaky, but more of a sparkly type of shadow, then the Clarity Cosmetics would be the one for you. This formula is a lot smoother, I will tell you, a lot smoother than the Clarity Cosmetics. The mattes I feel like in this one are very similar to the one in Pastel Pup. Both of those are pressed pigment, so that's mainly the reason why I feel like they're very, very similar. So there is a person for each palette. Why I like this one so much is the fact that, one, I love the formula. Two, I get different colors, and it's just not like the standard pastels that you normally would get. I love these. I love that I can use these shimmers in the summertime and not really feel like I can't reach for this in the summer. Right now, I'm feeling a little bit off. Maybe it might be my shirt because I don't know what I was gonna get and I don't know what to do with my lips either. But I am getting a little bit more tan, and I probably will not be able to use a ton of these or this palette as a standalone palette for me in the summer. This palette would be more for me like a companion palette in the summer, where I can only pull one shadow out of it to go with a look as a liner, as a buffing out shade, something of that nature, because I can't personally, due to my skin tone and the warmth that I get in my skin tone in the summer, this would be too much. White-based shadows just don't look right on me, and I kind of starting to feel like that right now with these, but because the green is a little bit deeper and I was able to deepen it up a little bit more in the outer part, I can get away with it. The other way I can get away with using pastels is if I put a black liner in my waterline as well as up on my lash line and really dramatize my lashes. I make my lashes are black, like I put obviously falsies on today, so that helps to kind of separate the pastel-y with something deeper, if that makes any sense. So I feel like I'm a little bit better when I wear lashes and pastels and I put a black liner in my waterline instead of another colorful liner. But that's because of my skin tone. If you're lighter, you're fine. You don't have to worry about that. But since I get warmer, the cooler tones, these white-based ones, don't look as good on me in the summer. So overall, you guys, I love this palette. I knew I was gonna love it. I just love Gimme Glow Cosmetics shadows. You guys know that. I know a lot of you guys are on the fence of whether trying this brand or not. I am not here to convince you that you need to have this palette, to convince you need to spend your money on this palette. I'm just here as an eyeshadow enthusiast who absolutely loves any type of formula and just give you my thoughts on this. My personal opinions, what I think. If you are looking and you still don't own any pastel palettes and you want something that's a little bit easier, user-friendly to use as far as thinking about what to pair with it, this might be your option because you're getting the matte with its corresponding shimmer, the matte with its corresponding shimmer. So you don't really have to think about it too much and it goes well. It has a beautiful flow to it. You're getting different colors in here. You can use this as a companion palette. I feel like this palette will last you a while because of the amount of product you're getting out of it. You're getting a mirror with it. I think it is a beautiful, well thought out palette when it comes to pastels. I still don't have many pastels in my collection. I really don't. I probably have under 10. Out of the hundreds of palettes I own, I probably have not even 10. Not even 10. I'm probably close to like 6 eyeshadow palettes that are true pastels in my collection. Because one, I can't really use them all year round. And two, I like a specific formula and I like a specific color story for me to be able to get it. And this is one of them. I love this whole entire like packaging of it. I think it's beautiful. It's very, it reminds me of cotton candy or like, you know, some sort of unicorn. Like this reminds me of unicorns. I don't know why, but it does. It's a beautiful palette. So I love it. If you're on the fence as far as whether the formula is good on this one, they did a great job. Absolutely great job. If I can still see the formula on here, because they're pastels, I can wash them off easily, but some pressed pigments really do stain your eyelids. I don't think this one will stain your eyelids as much if that is an issue that you have, because these are pastels. But I give it a definite 2 thumbs up. I really enjoy it. I'm gonna try to use this more in the next week or so, because I believe next week we're gonna start seeing more 70, 75, and I will start to get a tan unintentionally just being outdoors. So I only have a limited time for this. I wish this would have came out like in March, because I think I would have been able to use it a lot more. But this is a beautiful spring palette. Absolutely love it, especially if you're looking for, if you are that type that likes to do some fun FX type of, you know, makeup, and you like to do that kind of stuff, this will be fun to have in your collection too. Not many pastels are out in the market, but I'm pretty sure, I'm feeling we're gonna be flooded with them very soon. So that's my thought, you guys. I hope you guys like the comparisons with the other 2 palettes, if that is something that you wanted to see, whether this was worth it or not. As far as the formula goes, as far as the way that they apply on the eyes, I have absolutely no issues at all whatsoever. If that is what's holding you off, I'm telling you guys, it is just as good as any other palette that they have released. So that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned to my Instagram because I will be posting more of this palette looks that I'm incorporating with my Pando's eyeshadows and other palettes. I'll probably incorporate this with a bunch of neutrals to show you guys you can add this to your neutrals and give it a little bit pizzazz to those looks. So anyway, I'll link it down in the description box if you are interested. Hopefully it'll be in stock very soon so you guys can get it if that is something that you are looking for. So that's it. I'll put more videos over here for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.